The issue of the challenge that we have in Malaba border is something that is probably one of the most immediate and serious issues that we are dealing with as government. As you know, our trade within the East African community remains a critical aspect of our economy's success story. The Mombasa port serves the whole of the region beyond Uganda into southern Sudan and DRC, and the importance of Malaba-Busia border is quite critical for us. It is already bad enough as a result of Corona for us to have experienced the delays that we suffer on the corridor, because if you think about it, pre-Corona days, it would ordinarily take 3 days for a driver to drive from the port of Mombasa to Kampala and back. And as an introduction of the tests and COVID issues came up, that time doubled. And you can imagine the amount of delays and the economic consequence of that has been quite serious. Now, as if that is not enough, then we have had issues that have developed, largely a creation of our own truck drivers that has caused a 50-kilometer long delay of trucks that is now becoming a security threat. And as my colleague C.S. Macharia mentioned, we took a decision as government this morning to really exercise all that is within our means to make sure that that corridor is cleared. And I'm pleased to say that whilst we have been here, the 4 trucks that have been blocking the entry into the Uganda side of the border have now been cleared, and clearances and movements of people, of trucks, have already started moving. We expect that exercise to take probably 4 to 5 days to clear. As that exercise is going, we have asked our colleagues, all the stakeholders at the port, at the border port of Malaba, to work 24 hours, whether it's immigration, port health, Revenue Authority, and our security colleagues, to make sure that this clearance starts now and we get this backlog behind. My colleague C.S. Kagwe has made it extremely clear that all our truck drivers must get 48 hours before they start their journey the tests and the necessary certificate, which is being respected by our colleagues on the Uganda side. And we are aware that there have been issues raised by our truck drivers, especially once they cross onto the Uganda side of the border. We have had our Ambassador Kiema Kilonzo, who drove from Kampala to the port of Malaba yesterday to actually inspect some of the stop points that have been the main cause of concerns for our drivers, where complaints about lack of adequate facilities and improper sanitation facilities have been reported. Of course, we will not expect first-class facilities. It is challenging times, but it is not as bad as people have described, and that have caused the blockages that we have seen. We've also had complaints from our truck drivers that testing that is being done at the border point by Ugandan authorities is painful, and that the necessary swabs that are being done is quite painful. We urge our truck drivers to do tests in Kenya. Once you have the certificate, you don't have to be subjected through that painful exercise that you are complaining about. So it is a time to actually exercise patience on everybody's side. This is an unusual time. People's emotions can run high. But what I think is not acceptable is to block the entry point of Uganda through the vehicles that we get from Mombasa entering into Uganda through the port of Malaba. That is something that will not be accepted. Whilst we endeavor to deal with the grievances and issues that have been highlighted by the drivers, all arms of government are collaborating to deal with these issues as quickly as possible. And as I said, clearance have started and vehicles have started moving. We have, of course, the port of Busia, which is an alternative route for people to use. We also have the area through the border of Loakaka, where vehicles coming from Uganda have also been using to come back as a way of easing some of this congestion. And so I think unlike some of the issues that we've had to deal with before, which was as a result of lack of understanding and having a common view by EAC member states, this issue of Malaba is a unique one in that it was a creation of our own people who decided to block the road so that their grievances are being heard. And we will work jointly with them, and we just urge everybody to be patient and make sure that we act within the law and what is responsible as we all try and overcome this issue of corona pandemic. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.